Conversations with Ishiekwene.
Politics is often described as a dangerous game. The Nigerian variant of this game revolves around opportunistic recklessness and a callous lack of principle. It's July 2025. However, political realignments for 2027 are in full gear. The African Democratic Coalition is the special purpose vehicle which politicians opposed to the Tinubu administration hope to use to mount a challenge against him in 2027. Of the leading politicians whose actions seem a bit of a surprise is Peter Gregory Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections. Obi's association with the African Democratic Congress Coalition, his inability to resolve the crisis in the Labour Party has given Obidient movement and supporters sleepless nights. Is Peter Obi limiting his chances and losing the momentum he gained in 2023? You are welcome to Conversation with Azu, our weekly diary on life and politics. And joining me via Zoom live is Azu Ishiekwene, the writer of this column. You're welcome to Conversation, Azu.
Thanks for having me, Gilles. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. For starters, you stated emphatically in your opening paragraph that Peter Obi has the best chance to displace President Tinubu in 2027. And how is that?
Yes, that's based on historical facts. I mean, if you look at his performance in the 2023 elections, although he came third, he came a solid third, as I said in my column. He had less than 1 year to cobble together a party, exit his former party, the PDP, and then join the Labour Party as a basis for the election. And clearly his performance, in spite of the short time that he was really able to not just perform well, but also to mobilize large cohorts of voters, across the spectrum, especially young people, urban people who are in urban areas, and people who also just felt highly disaffected with the political system. So that obviously for me is a big deal. And it's an indication, obviously, of what potentially he can do. And also one of the concerns that a lot of people had after the 2023 election was whether he would be able to maintain the momentum. But obviously he's done well with that himself. So I think it's in pretty much good state compared to others who have so far shown up.
All right, and in the coalition he's presently frolicking with, you have former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, you have former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amaechi, you have former Governor of Kaduna State Nasir El-Rufai, and if you look at all these people, they are very prominent popular politicians as far as Nigerian politics is concerned. Do you think Obi stands a chance in their midst?
He has very good chance. I mean, again, let's keep in mind that the ADC itself is work in progress. It's not a new political party, in case people have forgotten. It's been around for quite a while. It was the party that former President Olusegun Obasanjo said would unseat Buhari in 2019, but it failed. So yes, that platform is there. They also have some internal problems about leadership, about and so forth and so on. But I guess all the parties have that as of now. But then, though former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has resigned from the PDP, he is yet to formally register as a member of the ADC, even though he has indicated interest. I think pretty much the same can be said of former governor of Kaduna State. But obviously, I read recently that former governor of Rivers State, Mr. Rotimi Amaechi, had gone to launch the ADC in Rivers State. But we'll wait to see how that happens. It's not new. He did pretty much the same the last time, breaking off from the PDP as it then was to join the new PDP coalition that joined the APC at that time to contest the election. So there isn't much that is happening now that is really new. But if you look at the record of these folks, I mean the frontliners who have so far indicated interest, what Peter Obi has in terms of credentials, in my view, appears to be far more solid and more remarkable. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
All right, and to win the presidency in Nigeria, Obi will need 25% of the votes in about 24 states across the federation.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yes, that looks very far-fetched for him, considering Nigeria's voting dynamics.
Well, I think, again, if you look at that notion, I mean, it's a widely held notion that you have to have very strong roots in what is traditionally regarded as Nigeria's tripod. That is, if you take the North as a whole, as one block, which it is not, and you look at the South as a block, look at the tribes or the ethnic nationalities, Yoruba, Hausa. But we saw in 1999 that Obasanjo, in spite of the fact that he lost massively in the Southwest, he still was able to emerge president. President Buhari did not win in the Southeast, but still also managed to be president. So we can see significantly that that trend has been bucked. But I think we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Well,
what in my view, he probably needs to do is to go back to, because as I said in my column, if you look at the basis for his victory, mostly women, 80% or so of those who voted for Peter Obi in the last election were women in the age cohort of 18 to 24. And as I said, disaffected, voters, urban middle class and so forth and so on. I think he needs to pay a bit more attention in seeing how he strengthens what brought him this far, rather than going back, if you pardon me using the phrase, to his vomit. I do not see a pathway there.
All right. My final question, realistically speaking, only Abia State in Obi's zone, and this is based on your answer to my previous question, only Abia State is controlled by the Labour Party. His home state of Anambra is under ABGA, Imo and Ebonyi are under ABC, and Enugu is in PDP. Can Obi really be the candidate to pose a serious challenge to Tinubu in 2027?
Well, 2027 is not as far as it seems. But I think part of the misery that Obi has to contend with is that he appears to be confused. He needs to deal with that. He needs to be clear in his mind what he wants. I do not know how much time he has to be able to build a kind of formidable platform that will be able to, maybe unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I think we should stop looking at elections as every 4-year cycle. I do not think, if he's correct, and I assume that he said he's not desperate, I assume he's not. He does not have to become president in 2027. He doesn't have to. He should spend time building the coalition, doing enough work that will put him in a good stead to make a proper challenge the next time, even if he doesn't win. That would be my final answer.
All right, thank you very much. And to conclude today's episode, the column which was titled Peter Obi's Dangerous Game, I'll read an excerpt from Azu's column for your listening pleasure. And I quote, "There's nothing for him in any coalition of the disaffected, and his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, said so bluntly. To paraphrase him, a coalition with Atiku, El-Rufai, Amaechi, other internally displaced politicians is a coalition of the second fiddle." End of quote. You can read the full text of this article on Ishiekwene.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and leave your comments. And if you're interested in monetizing content, just scroll down the page and you'll find the necessary links. Thanks for coming on the show, Azu.
Thanks for having me, Julius. Thank you.
Bye for now, and safe trip.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Conversations with Azu Ishiekwene.